So what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am David. On today's episode, we have to take care of this here widowmaker is what we call this right there. You see that limb? It cracked and it is hanging onto a different tree, which is looming over my S10s. So we have to project save the S10s today. I'm going to start the tan one here. That one does start and run. It has a heavy rod knock, but I just throw a crap ton of heavy gear oil or whatever the heaviest oil I can find in it to kind of, whatever, just so me and my son can play in it because he loves driving that thing around the property and having a good time. The other one does not start. I think it's a fuel issue. I actually haven't looked into them. And just to give ourselves a little bit of backstory on these here S10s, my neighbor actually had them sitting on one of his properties, or his father-in-law's property rather, and he asked me one day would I be interested in them, and I was actually in the hunt looking for some S10s because I grew up with S10s. I had one that was airbagged and all kinds. We just grew up on S10s, the square body very specifically, not the rounded bodies, the square body very specifically. So I was in the hunt looking for some S10s. Mine always were pickup trucks, but I always wanted to do a Blazer. And so now I'm very excited that I actually have these guys. And so my expectation in a nutshell is, be clear, I have zero money to do any of my expectations right now, but I can dream. I'm going to dream. So this one here, whenever the Ford F1 Lightning comes out, hopefully in a year or two, and I get that truck or the Tesla truck, whatever truck, I think if you watch one of my other videos, I talked about it, but I'll speak of it briefly. I do want to convert everything I own, everything I possibly can to battery powered. Battery powered lawnmowers. Hell, if they make a tractor that runs on a battery, I'm in. Let's do this. Just to get away from the gas and all of that kind of stuff, and just to kind of, I want everything batteries, chainsaws, everything I can possibly do. I want converted over to battery power. Period. I feel like the technology is there enough now to go ahead and make those transitions. So when the Ford F1 Lightning comes out and I can get my hands on that, I'm going to take the drivetrain that is in the Escalade and I'm going to shove it into this guy right here, and we're going to just make it a monster. Just be clear, I don't hate gas or nothing like that. I would just prefer to have EV, period. Like I'm still going to have a gas powered car. Let's be clear. I'm definitely want to make a ridiculous amount of horsepower with that thing. I'm going to slam it to the ground. We're going to shave everything. We're going to paint it to the teeth. We're probably going to take the entire thing down to the frame. I mean, all out. I'm going to go for it. And then the other S10 here, I'm probably going to find myself a wrecked Tesla of some sort, and I'm going to make that an EV Blazer. I would like to make an electric vehicle out of that one. Are the expectations. Now, let's be extremely clear. I have zero funds for this idea, but that's what I would like to do. As like this whole pandemic started to subside and we can get back to work and or be working and stuff like that, I want to do these projects is what I'm really hoping for. We'll see what happens, how it all plays out. I also thought, we've been on our property here for 2 years, and I actually thought that I'd already be at least in the design phase of some monster shop on this property, and unfortunately I did not account for a pandemic. So with that said, we are nowhere financially even close to even building a shop at all. I haven't even worked in the last year. And just for reference here, my primary source of income is I flip houses. Now the housing market right now is really high. So none of my investors would care to be in this market at this time. And then also the price of lumber is through the roof. So none of my investors want to buy a house that's overpriced and then have to put the lumber into it that's overpriced and then try to take a profit and try to turn a profit, because the market housing crashes where you're sitting in an overpriced house with overpriced lumber and you can't sell it, so you're going to lose some money or potentially lose some money. So they're not in the business at this moment, or my investors at this time are not trying to flip houses. They may be doing other things with houses and that's on them, but as far as I'm concerned, I can't flip houses. So that's my primary source of income. My secondary source of income is I'm a bartender. I've been bartending for many years at many different locations. I guest bartend whenever I can, but with the pandemic, restaurants were shutting down. People are, they're well staffed. They're not worried about, me coming in the bartend. And honestly speaking, I'm not trying to go bartend at this time. I have 2 small kids, and we're not trying to put them at risk any more than we have to, if you will. So we're playing it safe to some degree, just to until things calm down and we can get back to normality. And once that occurs, we are gonna go ahead and hopefully get back into the swing of thing of flipping houses and making some more money, repiling money back into the bank and saving some money to try to build a shop hopefully in a couple years. And like, you know, unless there's like some millionaire watching this video and you want to help me out, feel free to donate something in the link to help me build a shop and get the S10s going. I'm down. But anyway, so that's the story behind the S10s. We're super excited about them. I love them. I can't wait to actually get started on them. I'm actually debating on picking up a little portable garage from Harbor Freight for 200 bucks and putting one in it and just start ripping it apart, because it's going to take, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's going to take years to do the project. It's not going to be like, oh, and unless money magically falls from the sky, and then sure, it'll happen a lot faster. But other than that, I can at least maybe afford to grab myself a portable garage, put it up there, and go ahead and just start getting it apart. Get the doors off, get the hoods off, get the engine out, all of that fun stuff. Get it down to the frame so we can go ahead and start sanding that frame down and all of that fun stuff. But so that's the backstory on the S10s. But for today, we have to get that Widowmaker out of those trees, and we have to move our S10s from their location so those trees do not ruin my S10s, my prized possessions. So let's get started. Let's go jumpstart this guy and get it moved. These aren't making good enough connections. We're gonna let me go grab myself a quick wrench, take the terminals off so I can get these to make a better connection, the claws, because it's just not getting good connection. Like I said, this one doesn't start, so we're just gonna grab the tractor and a chain and we're just gonna pull it over there. So I actually don't have a chain long enough to grab that, so I'm just gonna use a big boy ratchet strap. There's already hooks up front on this guy. It looks like it was towed at some point in time, or it was a tow vehicle, a tow behind something at some point in time, whatever, I'm not too sure. But it has hooks up front, so I'm just gonna hook it around, hook it to the bucket, we're gonna drag it out. That should do it. Let's put her in neutral. Let's kick some tires, make sure we got air in them. Check. Coyote CK2610 to the rescue again, moving the S10s. We're super excited. That thing is just I mean, I can't say enough awesome things about my tractor. Anyway, back to the issue at hand. We have to get this hanger out of here. Let's take you guys over there. Let's assess the situation. All right, so here we are. This is what we're working with. And there's the hanger, as you can see it. We're gonna need to be able to get to it somehow. How do we want to do this? I might need to get the grapple bucket on and get this debris here, wherever all of this is, just move it and get it out of the way so we can get underneath it. And maybe we'll throw a line in it and just try to literally yank it down. I think might be the best method. Yeah, maybe we'll get one of those big boy tie downs, ratchet straps, and just throw it around it and have the tractor just drag it out, or at least try to drag it out. See what happens. All right, let's go. Had to get my little net hat on. The gnats out here are just unreal right now. I guess it's from having crappy grass, but if anybody knows how to get rid of gnats in the yard, let me know in the comments. Anyway, so before we put the grapple on, I actually want to take the bucket and just see if I can just push it, just to see the limit of the bucket and see what it'll do. I mean, it can dozer for the most part, so let's just see if it'll push it. Let's go. Let's try it out. That worked out pretty well. I guess the only real problem is that I'm actually gonna, if I need to get back in there, I actually need to move the stuff and not just push it to where I gotta get to. So it did push, but it's not gonna do what I need to do. I mean, this is looking pretty sketchy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to throw a line into it, throw a ratchet strap to it, one of my big ones, and keep my run area cleared so I can make sure I can run, and see if we can just grab it and just maybe just pull it out. Let's just see what happens. So, found an old, it's a balancing wheel off of a Subaru. Anyway, found some weight, and I'm going to, with a string or rope, and I'm going to try to throw it over that, and then attach the ratchet strap to that to get it to go over, because the ratchet strap isn't heavy enough to toss over. All right, so we got the grapple on, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna dig through all that, whatever's over there. I'm gonna actually light my, you guys see from here? Yeah, the pit fire in the background, the pit fire right there, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna light my pit fire up, because as I take whatever it is over there, the debris, I'm gonna throw some wood on the fire, get it nice and hot, and as I pick that stuff out, I'm just gonna put it on the fire and just let it burn. So that way, because I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to put it. I can put it on the back part of the property. I can put it in Area 51 and let it decompose back there. But I don't want to disturb the deer population, because hunting season here, and I got some feed and stuff out there. So I don't want to. So I'm just gonna burn the stuff. Let's go. All right, a quick couple grabs with the grapple bucket there. I'm at the grapple, and yeah, we're looking good. We got some good space in here. The pit fire's out there burning away. It's looking good, nice and safe. And this is what we're looking at right here, this guy. Let's try to get a rope in it. Yeah, let's get a rope in it, and then maybe some ratchet straps and try to pull it down with the tractor while we're way out of the way so we can not get hit by anything. I got you guys pretty far back just because I don't want the camera to get hit if anything comes down, and I don't want to trip over if you guys trip over this tripod or anything if I gotta go running. The weight that I have on is just a little too heavy to actually get up that distance, so I'm going to find something else to tie onto the other end. All right, so on the sketchy scale of 1 to 10, this is probably about a 6.5. Yeah, I feel pretty confident we're going to snap those ratchet straps. I thought that was a little bit weaker in that joint where it's at, that I would just pull it right out because it's so dead, but apparently it really isn't. I mean, it is dead, but it's going to break those. All right, guys, I guess it's time to move on to plan B. Hold up. We don't have a plan B. All right, guys, so I don't know what to do now. Back to the drawing board we go. I mean, I could cut this tree that it's hanging on, but on a scale of sketchy, that's like a number 10 to the 10th power. Like, no way. That's, what do you, back cut it and then, no way, 'cause that thing's gonna snap immediately and I can't run fast enough. So, I don't know. Only thing I am happy is that the S10s are out of the way, so at worst case scenario, eventually it'll fall and I'll deal with it when it does, because my kids don't play over here, nobody plays over here, and there's nothing over here. So if it's got to sit like that, at least it's in a spot where when it comes down, it's not going to be a big deal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and leave that stick up there, guys. It's just way too sketchy. Like I said, it's not worth it. Nobody plays over here. We're good with it. Gonna leave it there. However, we are going to continue along in my day here. For Father's Day, Shannon actually bought me a 40-volt Ryobi battery-powered chainsaw. If you follow my videos, I keep saying in them, I'm looking to switch everything over to battery-powered and that kind of stuff. Chainsaws, vehicles, cars, tractors, if they're going to make them. You know, anything that can go to battery power is what I'm looking to be at. So for Father's Day, Shannon picked this up for me, because I have a lot of Ryobi product. I already have the batteries for it. So she instinctively thought, you know, hey, I'll pick him up this, and I'm very happy, and I have yet to use it. So today we're gonna run this thing through its paces. If you're new to my channel, welcome, first of all. And but if you are new to the channel, we took down, actually we had some wood delivered here from my neighbor's property, and we put the Kioti CK2610 to the ultimate test. And we were doing some weightlifting with it to see exactly what it would take and would not take. And I'm curious to see how heavy those logs were. So I'm gonna put this Ryobi through his pace. I'm gonna cut myself off one of those logs. I'm gonna cut up a log while we have the grapple on the Kioti CK2610. And we're gonna cut it up and we're gonna put it on the scale and we're gonna weigh it to determine how much it actually weighs. So we can get an idea as to how much it was, how much we were actually lifting up. So let's put this guy through his paces. Let's see what this thing can do. Pretty excited. It's a 40 volt. Let's see if we can get some better stats for you guys here. This is a 40 volt Ryobi. The box is long thrown away in the garbage a while back. Like I said, I just haven't used this thing yet. I do believe it's a 20-inch saw. I'll give you guys a look at it. Here we go. Let's take the sheath off. Let's take that guy off there. Oh, there you go, 16-inch, 400 and let's see, can't be upside down, 406 millimeter. You know, so cool little guy. So looking forward to using it. That's really quiet. That's weird. All right, let's go. Let's give this thing a shot. Let's go grab the Kioti. Let's put something in the air and let's get something cut. So this is not one of the biggest logs that we have here, but it's a respectfully decent size. They're all roughly about this size here. This one's a little bit longer, maybe a little bit bigger, but with the box blade, I'm definitely not gonna be able to pick anything bigger than that up with the box blade. It even jumped a little bit picking that one up. So, but it'll be all right. We're gonna go ahead and take off a little slab. Let's get it weighed up. All right, so my first thoughts on the Ryobi here, not bad at all. I let the saw for the most part do most of the work there. Wasn't trying to muscle it through or nothing like that. I was just kind of, you know, helping it along, I want to say, but I wasn't really getting after it. How's the battery looking? It did take out two. This is a fully charged battery, and it's only got two little lights left. So, you know, I don't know in comparison then like how hard this locust tree is. I think they told me it was a honey locust. I'm not too sure. If somebody knows, looking at that tree, if somebody knows what that tree is, let us know in the comments. Let's all learn together. But I don't know how hard that wood is in comparison to, you know, I don't know, ash or something like that. But so this battery probably would only last like another cut if this is already down to 2 bars. Fortunately, I do own 2 of these batteries, but that's pretty much all the cut we're going to do because I just want to get this piece weighed up. We're going to see we're going to extrapolate some numbers, and we're going to see how heavy these things are. All right, so here we are. I want to give you guys a good close-up on this because I want everybody to see them. So we're going to do some measuring and all of that fun stuff. And before we do the measuring and all of that, I want everybody to jump in the comments, or those who want to, jump in the comments and take your best guess as to how heavy this particular one here is going to be, roughly speaking. Take a quick guess. But let's go do some numbers. Let's go try to find out and get a closer estimate. All right, let's get some quick numbers here, guys. We're gonna say this is 22 inches, 23 inches. All right, so at its widest, this is 23 inches at its widest. And this is not the biggest piece out there, it's just a piece that we're working with, but I do want to know the numbers. Here, side to side, you're looking at 19. Here, on this angle, you're looking at about 22 and a half. Here you're looking at about 23. Just in case somebody out there watching this video happens to have some amazing math skills and can, you know, put it into a program and really get the real numbers, or know a Google search you could probably do. That said, also I'd like to point out that I'm not the best chainsaw cut in the world. This thing is not it's not perfectly symmetrical. So this is really just going to be a really, really rough estimate of a number. So let's get the thickness of this at its thickest point. Four inches 3.5. So 4 inches is going to be the thickest. 3.5. And at its smallest, this is 3 inches here. And at the thickest is going to be 4 inches. So we're going to say that we took a 4-inch cut is what we're going to say. And then we're going to do I'll just do the math. Let's weigh this thing and see what it weighs. For the record, this is just my bathroom scale. We do run a small eBay platform here where I could go grab our shipping scale, but I don't really see a need for that. 28 pounds. All right, let's determine how long this log is. This is 65 inches. Not including the 4 inches that not including the 4 inches that we cut off. This is a 65-inch log. I hope you guys got your guesses in already. So here we go. So if we do the numbers right here on this one, guys, we're gonna round the 28 pounds up to 30 pounds because it wasn't cut perfectly and blah, blah. So we're gonna say it was a 30 pounds in that 4 inches. So let's just do the math. So if we do the math right, 4 inches, I cut 4 inches off. So 4 inches goes into 65, 16.25. If we do that math. And then we're gonna multiply that by 30. And if we multiply that by 30, we're gonna say it was 30 pounds, it's gonna be roughly about 487.50. Roughly. So we're saying, in theory, this is roughly 487 pounds. So then roughly, this is 488 pounds, roughly. Really rough numbers, rough calculations, rough everything. We're saying that's almost a 500-pound log, which is pretty cool. That also being said, the tractor can lift about over 1,600 pounds up front, 1,600 in the rear, and over 1,600 up front. That's pretty substantial. So if we had to just take some more guesses, let me move you guys a little bit. If we had to take some more guesses at the logs, if that's a 500-pound log, this is easily going to be, because this one's bigger and it's longer, this thing is easily going to be probably an additional 200-300 pounds, or probably 700-pound log. That's not too bad at all. So all in all, the tractor was very capable of lifting all of these logs, and I just didn't realize it because, like I said, 600 pounds. The biggest log that we do have is on the carryall over there, and that's probably just under. Let's go take a look at it. So this is the one that's on the carryall, and I'm leaving it on the carryall, and in this condition, I'm not even going to cut this one up because if I need this amount of weight out back, this is all I have that's this heavy. So let's just take a quick number on this guy really fast. Now I'm just really curious. Okay, this is 22 inches in diameter there. So it's roughly the same size as that other one that we took a piece off of. And this is 8 feet. This is an 8-foot log. All right, so let's do some math to this. We're gonna 96 inches divided by 4 is roughly 24. And then 24 times 30 is gonna be 720. So we're saying that this is about 720 pounds roughly. I would probably put it a little bit higher than that. But we're saying this is about 720 pounds. I would probably say it's almost 800 pounds. That is a heavy log. It makes me really happy because the Kioti handled this thing with no problem. If you didn't see the video, I will leave a link and go check out our weightlifting video for the Kioti, guys. All right, guys. Now, you know, that was pretty freaking cool to kind of get some rough ideas and some rough numbers going there. I'm not too sure how reliable those numbers are really going to actually be because the cut was not perfect and, you know, all of those things. But just to get some ideas floating around, because I honestly thought that big one that's on the carryall, I thought that would have been closer to maybe 1,000 pounds to 1,200 pounds, somewhere in there. I mean, when I lifted that thing up on this guy, you felt the tires sit down on the thing. I mean, check that video out. I'll leave a link in the description. So, you know, to think that this tractor is very capable. It's a very capable tractor. It can do 1,600 pounds. If that thing is only 500-600 pounds, if I'm off of my calculations by saying, you know, that's, you know, whatever we said, 3 and change, almost 400 pounds, just say it was 600 pounds. Well, this thing is capable of lifting over 1,600 up front. with the appropriate weight out back. That is also, if you're a new tracker owner like I am, these are things you must learn. You have to have weight out back, or else you're just going to tip the damn thing over. So put the weight out back. That's why I'm going to leave that log the way it is, because that's the heaviest thing I have around this property. I think, because my wood storage bins, I fill those up with wood, and I don't know, those might give that a run for its money, maybe, but as they start seasoning and drying out, they're going to get a lot lighter. So as of right now, I feel like that's probably going to be the heaviest thing that I have on this property that I could put for substantial weight in the back. So I'm going to literally leave that log as it is. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to do anything with it. The rest of this stuff, I am going to take that Ryobi to it. And I'm actually going to, I'll probably do a separate video on that when I go to start cutting this stuff up, to see how long that battery is going to last going through all this hardwood here. And just really put that Ryobi through its paces. We're really going to see. I mean, it went through that thing at 24 inches, and it's a 16-inch bar. I mean, you know, it's not bad, man. I mean, it's definitely not made for doing that big of wood at all, but it did it. So like, I'm pretty impressed. I do have some smaller pieces of the same locust over here, which is probably going to be more of its fit, like a 10-inch diameter. We're going to get a nice full charge battery, and I'm going to rip through it and see how much can we get cut before the battery completely dies on us on one charge. One battery, one charge, although I do own more than one battery, but we're going to use one battery and we're going to see what happens. Stay tuned for that video. Guys, this is going to be it. This is where we're going to end the video. I'm super pumped just to know those numbers. I hope if you guessed in the comments below, I hope you came close, guys. That was pretty cool, pretty fun. That's going to be it, guys. I'm going to check you later. Don't forget to take the time to like, comment, subscribe, chit chat with me in the comments, guys. I love to chit chat with you guys and interact down there. Throw some thumbs up, some likes, and all of that fun stuff. Subscribe, all that, you know, do all of the things that, you know. So that's going to be it, guys. Two things as always. Don't forget to take the time to enjoy what you do. And don't forget, work does not do itself. So don't be afraid to get out there and get after it.